Hi, this is Makola Spokane, the leader and the founder of the Young Men Empowerment Forum. Today, I want to continue with part 4 of this great topic that we have started already. We're speaking about how to become a memorable leader. It is very important that we speak about this and we make sure that we understand that memorable leaders are people that have done something to the people, done something to the observers, people that have observed, done something to their own subordinates, done something to the people that are reporting to them, the people that they are leading. And you can only be remembered by the people that have seen you doing something. And this is very important. Now, to be a memorable leader, I must emphasize that you need to develop people into leaders as well. Now, developing people into leaders make people to remember you, because don't be autocratic in a way that you don't want others to become leaders. Develop people to become leaders as well. And as you develop people by becoming leaders, you are actually empowering them. You're making them to grow, and they're becoming better people and becoming better version of themselves. And when you do so, everyone who has been made a better version of themselves, they become proud of who they are, but then they acknowledge the leader that has actually made them to become who they are, and you become memorable in their lives. I must emphasize that developing people into leadership, one, could be through teachings. Make sure that you teach people leadership skills. Teach people right now how to lead others. Teach people principles of leadership. And make sure that you do so genuinely from the depth of your heart, because you want them to become leaders tomorrow. You become them to become the better version of themselves so that they can be able to lead others. That's one form of developing people into leaders. But another way of developing people into leaders is particularly to provide them with materials that which they can read themselves, whether it's books, whether it's manuals, whether it's notes that they can go through themselves and read and develop into leaders themselves, because you provided them with the resources that they can go through, they can read, they can study and become leaders themselves. That's very important. And also another way of developing people into leaders is by coaching them, by making sure that whatever they do, you give them proper counseling and coaching. Make sure that you develop them by showing them the way. Making sure that you develop them by telling them how to craft leadership and how to lead others. And that's what we call coaching. By making sure that you shape them up and make sure that you correct where they do wrong. And make sure that you develop them into a positive-minded people. Boost their ego by acknowledging them. And that will be developing them into leadership. Now, also, it is very important to make people aware that you are aware of their leadership skills, and make sure that when you are aware of them, start helping them to shape them. Start directing them to the right path of shaping their leadership skills, because that will be the way to make sure that you're developing them into leaders. And I want to also mention that mentorship is very key when you're developing people into leadership. You become an exemplary leader. So become a man and a woman of integrity. A man and a woman of character, somebody that people can look up to. Become a role model to them, because that's the easiest way of developing people into leaders. And that's very key. And I must emphasize that you need, therefore, to develop people into leaders, because when you develop people into leaders, they will become leaders tomorrow, and they will remember you, and they will never forget you. And that's what we call being memorable. I want to also emphasize that if you want to become a memorable leader, you must inspire people to stretch higher. You must nourish people's dreams. You must make sure that people are actually dreaming bigger, and you are encouraging those dreams, and you're nourishing them, and you're encouraging them to become big thinkers, and people that don't think to their feet, but people that think widely and broadly, and let them believe in the impossibles to become possible. And encourage that type of mentality, and encourage a mind shift that will make people cherish the great work that they can do. And let not people be encouraged to look down upon themselves. Because when you encourage people to look down upon themselves, you don't develop them into good leaders, and therefore they cannot remember you. Inspire people to stretch higher. Inspire people to dream higher. Inspire people to make sure that they develop into people that want to have big visions, and they will fulfill those. And let them also, as they dream higher, implement, because they can become higher. Let them believe in themselves. Now, I want to emphasize that because image of somebody can be destroyed or boosted by somebody. Now, as a leader, that needs to be memorable. You definitely need to boost your people's image or to make sure that they are actually having self-image themselves. They are able to stand firm and believe in themselves, because when people are not believing in themselves, they will not develop into the better version of themselves. Now, as a leader that is going to be memorable, inspire them, therefore, by nourishing their dreams, nourishing their visions, and make sure that you become a role model that they will look up to. And that's very important. But I want to also say that you need to lead the people by example. You need to walk the walk. You need to do things that you say you are. And make sure that people look at what you are doing rather than just what you're saying. Listen to this. Many people become who they are by what they've seen more than what they've heard. So in other words, people are more respecting and honoring what people do than what they hear people saying. People see example and learn by witnessing how you walk, how you do things, how you behave, than what you're saying with your mouth. So therefore, this is very important. Lead the people by example. Make sure that they see that which you do, which is doing right, and you become exemplary by all means. And they can follow you every step of the way by having seen what you do and know that you're doing good and follow the good things that you do. And that's the way for you to become memorable upon the minds of the people. Because people remember what they've seen in you, what they've seen you doing, and they'll remember that. People remember what you've done for them, not what you've said to them. And that's very key as well. And I must emphasize that please, as a young man, please become a memorable leader by all means. And the good Lord will bless you as you do that. I want to end up here today. Your host, Makoda Spokane. Thank you very much for listening to us and being part of this great work that we are doing here. And I'm going to finalize and round it up tomorrow with part 5. And may the good Lord bless you. Please allow me to say cheers for now.